There's many different posters of it. One of them says he sold his soul for rock and roll, which I definitely did. Hello, my name is Jason Schwartzman. I'm here with Mubi at Posteritati, and I am choosing some of my favorite movie posters and movies and things to talk about. And Posteritati, while we're here just talking about it immediately, this is Phantom of the Paradise, Brian De Palma movie, and there's a part of the movie, in fact, when the character, oh, there he is. He says, I've been working on, I forget the way he puts it, but something new, a pop cantata, he calls it. And Posteritati has a pop cantata vibe to it. Just making that kind of quick association, then we can backtrack. Aesthetically, I love the look of recording studios, and I love the look of gear and synthesizers specifically. If you like that type of thing, then this movie is up your alley. This box here is sort of like a vocoder, except it doesn't play music. It amplifies the sound of his throat, but he's able to sing by plugging it into this synthesizer here, which is actually a real synthesizer, Tonto's Expanding Headband, which you can see. I think it's the world's largest synthesizer, or one of them. And you can actually see it. It's an enclosed, beautiful structure and so many wires. There's many ways to sell a movie. And I like that here, Maimed and Framed, they started off with a very strong rhyme scheme, but they abandoned it pretty quickly. Because it has a feeling to be maimed and framed, beaten, robbed, blamed, shamed, something and sobbed, but no. We don't do that. We just go, he's been maimed and framed, now no more rhyming. Okay, here we are, back with Mubi at Posteritati. I'm Jason Schwartzman. This is another movie that I saw a lot in high school. I don't know exactly what genre you put this in, but it stars the Bee Gees, Peter Frampton, you got George Burns, you got Steve Martin in there. There's many different versions of this poster, and there's a simple version, but this particular one we have here, I like it because everyone's got this hand gesture going on, and I like the balance of it. I like how much stuff is happening. Look, actually look at that. Sold by Mustard Real Estate. And look, there's George Burns twice. It's a wild story. And it's not just about, I mean, they are the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, but it's not about just that. It's a larger story that I think very nicely, and as a Beatles fan.
And as Ringo Starr, I'm not so interested in meditation. I just like to have fun.
Maybe this is a divisive thing to say, but I think that I think it's a nice weaving of all of the Beatles songs throughout it, and it features, I think, some really great versions of some Beatles songs. We'd like to thank you once again. Sgt. Pepper's one and only Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's getting very in the air. This is a poster for the Truffaut film Stolen Kisses, which is part of the Antoine Doinel series. And in this installment of his story, we find him as a private detective who is hired by a person who owns a shoe store to figure out why the people at the shoe store don't like him. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Jean-Pierre Léaud, who's the star of the film, I don't speak French, but he's my favorite, or one of my favorite actors. His physicality is beautiful, and I love him. And there's actually a part in this movie when he kisses someone, and the way he kisses them is so odd, like the way that he moves physically, that I've freeze framed it and watched it many times because it's just peculiar. And this poster is one that I would say is probably my favorite image of all movie posters, and for that reason I actually own this poster. And this is one of the few that I actually have in my life, and it's framed, and I'm proud to have it, and it will always be with me my whole life. So there's nothing about this poster that I don't love and want to look at on a daily basis, including those teeth are great. The whole thing is great. And yeah, I want to jump in that one. So that's that. And now I'm going to switch to my next poster on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Heaven Can Wait. What a poster. I love it very much. This is a movie that I care a great deal about. This version of it, there's incarnations of it. I love this one a whole lot. I love Warren Beatty in this movie. I love that he has a pocket watch coming out of his sweatpants. Those are two different weights, you know, like a heavy pocket watch with a sweatpant. You don't equate those two things. You think if you're going to wear the sweatpants, you're not going to have the pocket watch with you. I mean, it's implied that he's not wearing anything underneath that outfit, which also is just bold. Just a gray sweatsuit, nothing else. And socks, of course. I mean, all kidding aside, I love the sweatpants, the way it's made. Very realistic painting of sweatpants and sweat clothes combined with, it's just mixing so many things together that appeal to me. And it's a very hopeful poster. So that's why I chose Heaven Can Wait. And this is another poster that I, in fact, also own. One thing I really love about movies in terms of the way they were released is how they're called different things, you know, how they get translated. And not only how they get translated in text, but how they also get translated visually. As I just learned from being here today, you know, sometimes the artist just was given the title of the movie, you know, didn't even know what it was. I just think there's something so wonderful about that, because that's, to me, my favorite thing about music or movies, art. But it's not only the thing itself, but it's what other people do with it that is really where the excitement can happen. It's like, you know, it's like the conversation you have after the movie, or, you know, that's where the movie lives on. Like a eulogy, you know, it's like someone dying. It's like, you know, they don't just die. It's how you talk about them and remember them. That is how they live on, and that's what I think is wonderful about movies. And so, for instance, this is Ghostbusters, and to me, when I was a child, I had a Ghostbusters sweater, original one, you know, with the very famous logo of the ghost coming out of the, you know, circle. And that's Ghostbusters to me in my mind. And I think to a lot of people. And when I happened upon this, I just thought it was wild, because this is Ghostbusters to somebody else, which is cool and amazing. And so somewhere at someone's life, like when they see that, they think da-na-na-na-na, da-da-da-da-na-na, you know. And I wouldn't necessarily think like who you're going to call Ghostbusters from looking at this, but someone would. And that's, to me, the coolest thing about this this business, these posters, these many lives that all of this art has, is how it spreads around the world and how it's all open for interpretation, and that you can and cannot judge a movie by its cover. But you can love a cover by its cover and just appreciate that for what it is. I have nothing else to say ever again. I'm done. I'm Jason Schwartzman with Mubi at Posteritati. This has been my segment. This has been a really wonderful way to spend my afternoon. I can't imagine a better way to have spent it. I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.